Hello everyone! So this week I decided to start working on creating an API that would retrieve the percentage a stock symbol returned over a given period of time. For this, I firstly found a scrapable financial website and I got to code using a JavaScript library that made my life much easier. It is called Cheerio. The requirements for this site were to show me on one page all the daily open values of my symbol in between two dates. At first, upon sending a GET request to it, this website would give me an empty 404 not found response because of my user agent. But after I replaced it in the headers with one that Google Chrome uses, I kept receiving a weird error. And I'm not gonna lie, this almost made me quit the entire project, because I thought this was some safeguard implemented by the site and I wouldn't ever be able to bypass it. It wasn't that. Apparently, by default, if you make a request in Node.js, your headers should be under 8 kilobytes. Otherwise, you would get my error, which is header overflow. But these headers of your request can actually be bigger. You just have to specify a max HTTP header size argument in your terminal when running your script. After this problem was overcome, everything became much easier. I can take all the credit though, ChatGPT helped me as well, but I was able to deploy this endpoint live for free using Netlify. It currently takes a symbol and two dates and it gives you the percent that symbol returned in that period. I also tried my best to take into account public holidays in the US when the stock market is closed, as well as the scenario where a date would be on the weekend. Now I am happy that I am not limited anymore to the 25 calls per day that the Alpha Vantage API was imposing for the free plan and that I was talking to you about in the last day in the life episode. I might even try to add more endpoints and try to monetize this API, but I'll keep you updated on how this idea is going. Regarding the frontend that I was developing using Angular, I modified it to call my custom-made endpoint. And now all the standard percentages work like a charm. I still have to implement the custom period part, but given how I designed the parameters of my endpoint, meaning start and end date, it should be pretty straightforward. At this point, I was sitting for quite some time, so I went and peeled off a few oranges to make some fresh juice. I heard this medical advice that you shouldn't sit at your desk for longer than 30 minutes, and whenever I remember it, I try to stand and take a few steps. On another note, I really love these shots from above the blender. It's hard to explain why there is something satisfying in watching the fruits getting all blended up. Let me know in the comments below if you feel the same way. Back to coding. I started progressing on the custom period functionality for the stock symbol return. I couldn't get very far though as lunchtime came. I wanted something healthy but delicious and easy to make. So for carbs I went with some rice and microwave frozen cauliflower, to which I added olive oil and some soy sauce. For protein, I never get tired of this marinated chicken breast that I fry. The marinade is made using garlic, salt, oil and some thyme. And as it sits in these ingredients for at least 24 hours, when you get to pan frying it, it will stay moist and tender. I highly recommend meal prepping your chicken breast this way if you find it is always chewy and dry. This was for me on this day in the life of a software engineer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, happy coding!